Mr. Speaker, sir, on the recommendation of the Governor, I beg sir to move that an additional amount of 10,54,85,130 be granted to the Minister in charge to defray certain charges which will come in the course of payment during the year 31st March 2022 for the administration of the head 2055 Police, 2070 Order Administrative Service, 2216 Housing, 4055 Capital Outlay on Police, 4059 Capital Outlay on Public Work, and 4216 Capital Outlay on Housing, 4552 Capital Outlay on Northeastern areas.
Motion moved. There is one motion against this grant tabled by Sri George B. Lingdo.
Honourable Speaker, sir, I beg to move that the total provision of 10 crore 54 lakhs 85,130 supplementary demand number 9, head 2055 police at page 16 of list of supplementary demands be reduced by rupees 100. That is, the amount of the whole supplementary demand of 10 crore 54 lakh 85,130 to stand reduced by rupees 100.
Motion moved. Now you may initiate discussion.
Sir, as per the supplementary demands that have been provided, in the explanatory notes, we are seeing that this amount is meant for the completion of the recruitment process, number 1. Number 2, for criminal investigation and vigilance. And one of the items is cybercrime wing, sir. Sir, in the recruitment process, sir, we are all made to understand the recruitment process is going on. But then, sir, as I've been told in the House by the Honourable Leader of Opposition the other day, sir, the delay in the declaration of the written exam results is more than the 48 hours that have been mandated, sir. It's been nearly 2 weeks now that the results have not been declared. So we don't know when these results will be declared, sir. We would like to know from the Honourable Minister as to why this delay has happened beyond the 48 hours and when the results will be declared. 2, sir, in terms of criminal investigation and vigilance, where we are seeing that the department is seeking more funds, more public resource to ensure that there is rule of law and order in the state, sir. But then, sir, what is troubling our minds is that there seems to be a failure of intelligence, failure to nab culprits on various crimes. Number 1, the drug menace. What we are seeing, sir, is only few instances where drugs have been confiscated. Some small players have been arrested, but then the kingpins are still at large, sir. We need to find who the kingpins are, and perhaps in collaboration with various agencies across the Northeast, try to tackle this menace, because even though we are seeing few cases here and there, but then they are all small players that are there in the market, sir. The kingpins are never arrested. Sir, the IED blasts that have happened, especially the ones that have really threatened the safety of citizens in the heart of the city, where we're seeing that the police department has not been able to anticipate that such blasts would be happening. And not only it has brought a scare to our city, which has really come to a stage where we can only grow better, from a peaceful situation, being pushed again back to those days where we live in fear, sir. Now, this is a big failure, sir, on behalf of the department to try to curtail all these incidents right from the time when they are being plotted, sir. Arresting a few kids, not getting to the masterminds is also one thing, sir, of concern, because they have been maybe lured by some kind of things that are drawing these kids to go to the streets and put these IED blasts, sir. But then who are the mastermind? Sir, FIRs have also been filed against trucks for illegal transportation, but then those have just remained as FIRs, sir. The investigation division has not been pulling up its socks to ensure that the charge sheets are filed. Sir, regarding those cases where we have seen illegal digging of coal, what has happened to the cases filed in those areas where the laborers have died, sir? Since 2019, laborers have died, just few weeks back, more laborers have died, sir. What has happened to those cases? Is the government taking any action, sir? Sir, these are my concerns, sir, and especially in the cybercrime wing. A lot of cyber crimes is happening, sir. People are being duped. People are being duped of their money. People are being lured into kind of businesses that are a violation of many valley laws. But then, what has happened to those cases, sir? Whether the actual mastermind who are outside the state or maybe inside the state operating the cyber crimes, are they being arrested, sir? Or is the cybercrime serious enough, cybercrime being serious enough to ensure that these culprits are brought to book, so that people, when they surf the internet, when they access various websites, they are also they will be in the they will feel that they are in under a safe environment, sir. So these are my concerns, sir. That's why I have brought this cut motion, sir.
So I also rise to participate in this cut motion, and I strongly endorse the views placed before this House by Honourable Member from Umroi. I also would like to place before this August House a few concerns that I have. So the concern that I'm having is relating to, again, criminal investigations. So this is a very important branch of the police department, and I'm aware that there have been a lot of cases, particularly when we deal with POCSO cases. POCSO cases and rape cases take a very long time because of the lack of machines and the lack of equipments in the forensic lab that we have. So the forensic lab of the state has been upgraded. I understand every year machines are being bought, and with the new technology that we see in the market, sir, I think I would appeal to the Honourable Minister in charge Home to stress more on purchase of the latest kind of equipments, so that detection of cases and prosecution of cases do not take long. Even till date, sir, there are instances where samples are being sent outside the state. Samples are being sent to Hyderabad or Calcutta, or even for that matter to Guwahati. Why can't we be self-sufficient? We would consider as much money as the Home Department requires, sir. But let us upgrade ourselves, update ourselves with the latest technology, so that any crime that is committed, particularly in POCSO cases and rape cases, conviction has to be early, sir. My only appeal to the Home Police Department, under the head of the Home Minister, to lay special emphasis on this particular subject, to improve the forensic lab that we have in the state. Just not with machines. We need good manpower also, sir. So therefore, recruitment process of technocrats and forensic experts is a must. I would really appreciate if this particular department is taken care of by the Home Police Department, sir. With that few words, sir, I suggest that the Home Minister may kindly pay special attention in this field also. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I stand to oppose the court motion moved by an honourable member But I have some point which I would like to get clarification from the Honorable Minister, which is related with this amount. So the first point, sir, would like to get information from the Honorable Minister, whether it is a fact that the petrol pump, which for so long have been supplying petrol and diesel to the police department, has been stopped now because the police department cannot pay the pending bill for a long time. That is number one, sir. So in the meantime, because it is a because of this related with the Department of Police, because we saw in the newspaper that the government has appointed the interlocutor for to negotiate with the HLC. So if the Honorable Minister can tell the House, it will look nice, since already came out in the news item, because it is related with his department. I'm sure that he knew better. It would look nice if he can inform the House, so that we members also will understand. When people ask about this issue, we can stand by the decision of the minister and also by the government. So the third point, so I would like to again place on the floor of the House that requests the Honorable Minister in charge Police intelligence wing have to improve, have to strengthen, sir. But and we understand, sir, as of now, we have seen that many of cases crime that because of the intelligence wing is not function properly. That's the reason why that many crime has happened. This is the few points, sir, I would like me to ask and request Honorable Minister in the course of reply may mention the 3 points, sir. With this word, sir, thank you, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I also rise to support this cut motion with few and brief observations. Mr. Speaker, sir, here in the projected additional amounts that is required as per the demand for supplementary grants, we can see that invariably in respect of domestic travel expenses are quite substantial. I mean, almost all the districts are covered. Now, it's a matter of concern because we need to remind ourselves about the quantum of works done by the men and women of the organization. You know, they can't be told that, okay, when all of us have holiday, they will also have holiday. You know, 24/7, they must be available, they must be ready, they must be prompt. And so the kind of job that they are subjected to requires very meticulous planning in respect of ensuring that the department is capable of looking at all those gaps and deficiencies. Every year, I have seen that police will always come up with additional requirement. And in the process, they wait for too long. And that creates a problem. Even in the matter of payment to the petrol pumps, many of the petrol pumps actually refuse to allow the police vehicles to be refilled because of this delay in payment. So these are important aspects. These are not areas where the department should be found that, okay, one of the DEF is not being able to get the fuel when they need it. So these are practical problems which has been confronting police, and therefore I would like to urge upon the government to see that this part is properly worked out and no pending bills are left with the petrol pump owners. We are promoting entrepreneurs. Our people can't afford to have, credit which is of substantial amount, and government departments used to be the main defaulters, and police being one of them. So this is one important aspect which I think the department and the government should take cognizance of and then have corrective measures. Then another part is the TADA of the police personals and the overtime. Holidays forgone. These are crucial aspects. These are crucial aspects. In fact, last December, pre-Christmas, I was talking to some of them, but they expressed that they are not receiving them. What is due for them? Let us take care of all those necessary measures required to be taken to clear these liabilities. And then another aspect which is again very, very crucial, the efficiency linked to the comfort of their job. There should not be a situation where the men and women in the organization start becoming a victim of work fatigue. Because putting some people in one place for donkey's years and keeping on transferring few people repeatedly, these have to be corrected and measures have to be taken to ensure that proper planning of utilizing the human resources is worked out. The whole planning is actually required to be worked out as per the provision already made available in the State Police Act 2010. I think it's there. So the police department can be guided by what is already there as a mandate out of the legislation that was enacted by this August House only. So these are few things which I would like to suggest because it is linked with, again, dealing with crucial issues. Now, investigation and charge sitting. There's a reason to believe that in some of the police stations, some of the process of investigation have not been completed for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. It's not good because, see, the integral part of administration of justice, police department is an integral part of administration of justice. And when the whole process of administration of justice get delayed because of these things, now what is the deterrence that a law can have on the perpetrators of the crime? They get away. I have seen many people who have been respondents, accused, but the cases were not disposed of because of the delay in investigation and charge sitting, and people have died. Whole life person had to go to the court, get the next date, get the next date. So these are not something which creates that kind of perception where people, the criminal mind will have that whole sense of fear for law. Kya hoga, kya karega, type that attitude. So the fear for law will come only when there is a visible development pertaining to any instant of such cases having a logical conclusion in the form of either conviction or otherwise. At least the cases should be disposed of by expeditious process of investigation and charge sitting. That's why, again, the State Police Act 2010 provides everything that is required to be done. It's a process which has to be embarked upon. It will take time, but then I think this should be something where the department should focus. I would like to urge through you, Mr. Speaker, sir, the Honorable Minister of Home Police to take separate interest on this, because all this, the crime against women and children, then all those domestic violence, all these things are something which perturbs all of us and also have a really bearing on the reputation, name and fame of the state. So I think to create a deterrence, law is supposed to be there for creating deterrence. Nobody fears anybody, but people must fear law. That's the purpose of law. So to create that enabling environment and ecosystem, I think this is very crucial. And therefore, there is no room to see that, okay, police organization should be a victim of deficiency of manpower. There cannot be. There cannot be. When you have a menace of traffic, how much of effort the traffic police has to put on. We sanction so many posts in traffic police for different states, for different districts, taking into cognizance the the quantum of burden on our men and women who are manning this traffic. And therefore, to have dedicated, trained, who is already efficient in traffic management, suddenly we see here and there, and you have distorted traffic management. I have seen it happening during our time also. Suddenly I had to ask, what has happened to this traffic suddenly, which was in order has become disorder. Then I was told that, okay, one of the officer concerned who was one of the most efficient in managing Shillong traffic police was transferred. Sometimes somewhere you will have to have that knowledge that, okay, this man is the best man for this. So these are a few things I think as the departments work on, new officers coming, sometimes, they do not try to have a review of first who is where. So efficient management of the manpower is another part which is again mandated by the law, Police Act 2010. Now here again, another important aspect where we are all concerned, the serious problem of the menace of drug abuse, psychotropic drugs. It is becoming a real challenge before us, before the society, before the state. And what we know is only the tip of the iceberg, because what is real on the ground zero is something else. In fact, there has to be a proper coordination amongst the states of Northeast, because most of these psychotropic drugs which are not available through the pharmacies are coming through those networks which have already been well established in the whole of Northeast. The state police and the designated manpower to deal with this menace are aware of this. So therefore strengthening them and then to have effective mechanism which should be put in place with proper coordination with all concerned is important. Besides coordinating with number of departments, number of other line departments in the state, the need to take up this issue collectively with other states is of utmost importance. We all know what is happening in Shillong, what is happening in Tura, and in fact, when we try to crack down on within our own state, what happens? They go beyond the state boundary, go to Assam. They get them. So small chances of getting those psychotropic drugs across the state and outside the state is one, I must say, that is the precursor. That is the precursor. They start something very slowly. I have seen it when I myself was a student, how our own student friends in the colleges were victim of those psychotropic drugs. There were cough syrups, phenytoin and other things. And the whole psychotropic drugs that were available in the pharmacies will have to be regulated at the time of sale. And how we can have a very stringent, effective stringent system to monitor on the inventory of those psychotropic drugs is very crucial. The government need to also strengthen in the health department, the drug inspectorate. I don't know what has been done to strengthen this very important wing of health department to regulate all the sale of medicines by different pharmacies. So this coordination is required, because starting with those mild psychotropic drugs, they keep on, developing that whole tendency to get addicted, and once they are addicted, then they go beyond. Some areas are known. In Southwest Garo Hills, we see lots of bikes, youth going in the two-wheeler from other parts of the district, and they go beyond the boundary to Mankachar. Mankachar in Assam, I think there's a need for the district administration along with the police to coordinate with the counterpart, wherever these things are happening. It is a known fact. In fact, there have been lots of accidents, road accidents, and after the road accidents, when the victims were seen, they were seen with psychotropic drugs while returning from Assam from Mankachar. So that indicates that they were going there to buy psychotropic drugs. So there is a need for that whole coordination with the counterpart at the district level also, but start from the apex at the state level. So these are few concerns, and at the same time, I think the mover of the cut motion has already tried to draw the attention of the government on how other aspects of this crucial problem should be tackled, and we also need to engage with the community, with the society. There is a need for that. Unless it starts from every home, it's going to be very, very difficult. It has to start from home. It has to start from the neighborhood. It has to start from the locality and go beyond with the involvement of the whole community and society. So with these few observation and submission, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to resume my seat. And I support the cut motion.
I will now call the Minister to reply this.
Mr. Speaker, sir, at the outset, I take this opportunity to thank Shri George Bilangdo, Honorable Member, and who moved this court motion, and also the Dr. Mukul Sangma, leader of opposition, by Process Saukmi, by H.M. Shangpliang, who are participating in this court motion. Sir, I will go briefly into the issues which raised by the Honorable Member. First, regarding the drug abuse in the state, I have already made the statement day before yesterday that from the police department we are doing, we leave no stone unturned to see that this menace in society is eradicated. I'm very happy that there is a concerted effort with other states in the country, and also with the other line department in the state, to see that educate the children, educate the youth, be the health department, be the social welfare, be the education department, so that together we will overcome this menace. Because as I said that day, even in the police station also, they have the community-based committee, so that they could overcome, could see that this drug menace is not there in the state. And regarding the allegation that we are caught only the small fry and leaving the kingpin, so it is not a duty of the government to protect anyone. The criminal is the criminal, whether he is small or big. So whatever we get evidence, the police act, and you have to see that in the record that day, where more than 200 cases have been filed and charge sheeted, and some conviction is also there. So so what I request, the Honorable Member, if you know any kingpin who are doing this, kindly inform discreetly or openly also to the police department, so immediate action could be taken into that kingpin or whatever may be. So regarding the cyber crime, yes, sir, nowadays technology is a very, very important, play a very important role in detecting the crime, and also in preventing the crime, and also in investigating the crime. We are very happy that to some extent that the police department, the cyber crime wing, could detect the crime, could prevent the crime, and also could arrest the culprit. As you have seen that many times, even outside the state also, the crime, through the crime branch of the police department, we could arrest the people from other state also. So regarding the recruitment process, so as mentioned by Honorable, yesterday also LO has already mentioned that regarding this, the process is on. We will do as early as possible. So we from the government, we never want to hide anything. We want to do the thing that the best people are getting what they are supposed to get. And regarding the IED, prevention of IED blast, so I don't want to deliberate much, but you have seen that many of the case arrests have been made, but I don't want to go into detail because some of these have been taken by the Judicial Commission which appointed. So regarding what Bahima M. Shangpliang has already mentioned regarding the forest, yes, it is a process. As I said, technology does not remain today. One maybe the best technology to detect the anything, but that technology, after some months, it becomes outdated. It is very difficult for the government to do. But I'm very happy that the police department, from time to time, are trying to equip the forensic department to the best it is so that it will be one of the best. But this, as I said, is a continuous process. I cannot say that we can do in 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, but the process is on. And the same thing what Bahima has already mentioned regarding the crime against women and children. So I'm very happy that now with the timeline set up to investigate the report and thing, that investigation, the charge sheet are in most of the case, the culprit could be named and charge sheet could be filed, and even conviction also. We have seen that in many cases, the people who commit this heinous crime or this crime against the women or children could be able to punish. And regarding the point raised by PT Saukmi regarding the bill of the petrol pump, this and that, yes, but these are the recurring expense, and we never ever anticipated how much we need for the particular district or for a particular thing, because crime or, as you said, policing, it is a very dynamic. Sometimes wherever the district there is not much work, there is less. So that anticipation of that. But having said that, we from the department, we are trying to clear the bill. But as I said, since it is recurring, we clear the last financial year, then this financial year. We have to evolve some process by which as Honorable LO mentioned, that this entrepreneur should not suffer because of a delay in the payment of this bill. And regarding the intelligence wing, sir, the intelligence wing of the department, of the police department, are working very hard. I'm very happy that most of the officers are manning the department, they are dedicated, and moreover, they work sincerely how to solve the crime. But having said that, we cannot deny the fact that there are some incidents which is beyond our means. But whenever we are able to prevent and then solve the case as the case may be.
Honourable Minister, please take a seat.